Hey, can you find a water bottle for me?
Something so simple.
Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Friday, March the 9th. Well, we don't smoke marijuana at the Arkansas Times, but we talk about it a lot. The news today is the fifth permit applicant that finished at the top of the scoring for cultivation permits under the new medical marijuana law got its money in today, and so now 5 have qualified, and next week the commission should authorize permits for those 5 people to begin building facilities to grow medical marijuana. This has not happened without surprise and controversy. Natural State Wellness was the last permit applicant to turn its money in, and it had said it was going to locate that facility in Jefferson County. It announced today it's changed to Jackson County. It'll be in Newport instead. They've said they made a heck of a deal for them up in Jackson County, but I've learned from further reporting that they made a good deal in Jefferson County too, but they got tied up in poisonous Jefferson County politics. Stu Sofer, a Republican election commissioner down there, raised questions about associations between the permit applicant and some local political figures, and they decided, I think, that they just didn't want to be a part of that snake pit. You can understand it. There's word that there may be a lawsuit filed today by other unhappy applicants for these permits. Don't have that confirmed yet, but there's an awful lot of talk going around. Can they file a lawsuit against the state over how these permits were awarded? The state statute allows it, but you know the Supreme Court has said that it's hard to sue the state because it has sovereign immunity. There's some suggestion that Governor Asa Hutchinson is picking and choosing which state agencies will invoke that defense and which will not. There's a lot yet to be developed on this story. Also, we were reporting the Democrat today on a story we broke yesterday about how Travis Story, a member of the Marijuana Commission, gave a very high score to a Carroll County applicant that he's done business with in the past, not as a marijuana cultivation applicant, but in his other ways. And his law partner, Bob Ballinger, a Republican in the State House of Representatives, confirmed that they talked with this company about their marijuana interests before the application process. Was he able to know that that Berryville permit was about his law clients? We don't know. He's not taking questions. Well, yesterday, Secretary of State Mark Martin lost his effort to delay producing information in the lawsuit challenging the new state law that requires you to produce a ID to be entitled to vote. That case is going to go to an injunction hearing Monday. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge is trying to invoke the sovereign immunity protection against this, and she's also using a consumer protection attorney to defend the law that makes it harder to vote. Imagine that. It's good for consumers, Leslie Rutledge thinks, to not be able to vote. Funny times we have here. The legislative session will end Monday. Not much happened today. They'll adjourn without much going on Monday. The governor will today, however, call a special session next week at which various items will be taken up. We know he's going to talk about pharmacy reimbursements under Medicaid. They're also going to try again to pass this backdoor school voucher bill that Jason Raper proposed that fell a vote short in the House this week. UA Little Rock fired its men's basketball coach today, Wes Flanagan. He had a 22-42 record in 2 years. He'll get paid $125,000 a year for each of the next 2 years for not coaching the Trojans anymore. Walmart yesterday passed out $13.9 million in bonuses to Arkansas employees and raised some of their minimum wage to $11 an hour. That's a nice thing. The Walton family got about $1 billion out of the tax cut that provided those very small bonuses for Walmart workers. A group that points out Walmart's shortcomings noted this and a number of other differences in who really benefited from the tax cut and who did not. David Couch, a Little Rock lawyer, is involved in just about everything, marijuana, casinos, who knows what all. Tried yesterday and failed on his first try to get Attorney General Leslie Rutledge to approve a constitutional amendment that would change the way we redistrict congressional districts every 10 years. He proposes to have a bipartisan commission that's separate from politics. The legislature does the work now and draws districts that make sense on a rational, compact basis. Other states do it this way. She turned down the proposal submitted first, says it was ambiguous in some ways. I think she probably likes the Republicans to stay in control of this, but he may yet get something on the ballot. Sad day yesterday at the State Board of Education. They said that 4 school districts in South Arkansas, all majority black, all trying to stop white flight, said they could not exempt themselves from the state new school choice law that says people can transfer anywhere they want out of whatever school district they're in. The facts show that nearly all of the students who take advantage of this law are white students fleeing black districts. districts, and that's what the district said that the federal court said you were supposed to avoid. The legislature has declared that it, and not the federal court, will decide what school districts can do about segregation. We went through this once before in 1957. Back then they called it nullification, and freedom of choice was a code word for encouraging segregation. Well, it still is, but now we proudly say that's the law of the land in Arkansas. The State Game and Fish Commission this morning in its legal ad said it may hire armed guards for its headquarters in western Little Rock. Just part of a routine review, they say, of their security procedures. They've never had armed guards before, and they insist it has nothing to do with the new state law that says people with certain kinds of concealed carry permits can now take them into public buildings, state buildings, the state capitol, and courthouses. Can't be too careful out in Arkansas these days, that's for sure. Resist these sorts of things if you can. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back next week.